A special thanks to the sponsors of the Blinded Veterans Association's Ambassador Program, Reader's Digest partners for Sight Foundation, Orcam, and Vispero. Your support empowers blinded veterans and makes a lasting impact on their lives.
Go to BVA.org to find out how you can directly make a difference in the lives of the brave men and women who have given their eyesight in defense of our freedom. They fought for your independence, and by going to BVA.org, you can find out how to help these veterans regain theirs. Go to BVA.org today.
Welcome to the Visions of BVA podcast. My name is Steve Baskis, and I'm your host. In today's episode, we speak with Vernon Humphrey, the Blinded Veterans Association National Program Coordinator. He and I will discuss the Ambassador Program and how it affects blinded veterans all over the nation. After speaking with Vernon, we will also hear personal stories and experiences from ambassadors in the program. Before we get started, let's hear from Hope about the Blinded Veterans Association Ambassador Program.
Thanks, Steve. The Blinded Veterans Association Ambassador Program is a key initiative that helps bridge the gap between blind and visually impaired veterans and the valuable benefits offered through the Department of Veterans Affairs. With over 120,000 blinded veterans and over 1 million with low vision, many are unaware of the support they qualify for, especially if their vision loss isn't service-related. BVA ambassadors, who are often blinded veterans themselves, volunteer their time to advocate and guide others, connecting them to vital services such as visual impairment service teams and blind rehabilitation centers. Through their experience and training, these ambassadors provide essential support and inspiration to others facing vision loss.
Vern, it's wonderful to have you on the show. Could you please give us an introduction to the Blinded Veterans Association Ambassador Program and its key role in supporting blind and visually impaired veterans?
The Blinded Veterans Association Ambassador Program was created in 2022. And the first idea was to have about 13 people trained as ambassadors and have one at each one of the BRCs, the blind rehab centers. And the outcry was overwhelming. We had like 50 people in the first class, or about 40. And then so we had more than what we knew what to do with. Then we had another class the next year and had about 40 in that one as well. Like I said, they hoped to get 13, and then now we have about 98 or 100 that are fully trained ambassadors. Unfortunately, those numbers of active ambassadors have dwindled a little bit. We have one ambassador that passed away. We have a few other ambassadors that have taken full-time jobs or are no longer able to travel, things like that. So we're down to about 65 active ambassadors. And it's a 15-week training program. And in the training program, we cover many of the basics that you would expect, such as the history of the BVA. We want people to know where they came from, the governance, how we operate, and our government relations, what we do for blind veterans through our government relations program. We are the only chartered organization by the United States Congress to represent blinded veterans. And as such, it gives us a seat at the table when it comes to the congressional meetings for veterans and government and military. We have a chance to bring forth things that need their attention that many people don't know about. So what we ended up doing is we have ambassadors at the blind rehab centers. We have them volunteering at the VIST, which is Visually Impaired Services Team Coordinator at the VA medical centers. We have them working in the community. We have them at clinics. And what the ambassadors do is they get the word out.
What are some of the biggest challenges veterans face when accessing services they're eligible for, and how does the Ambassador Program bridge the gap?
The biggest thing we can do to bridge the gap is to help provide knowledge. That's why we have such intense training. Our ambassadors through the training, know about the BVA, of course. They know about the Veterans Benefits Association. Well, they know about the VA auto grants, the care review program, the benefits overview, the community care, patient advocate. So they have this, now they have a core knowledge that they can go forward and spread the word. Another problem they have is transportation. And so what we have to do is get out to these different places. But at first, the idea was we're going to be at the BRCs, the blind rehab centers. But now we figured out that, you know what, we can do so much in different places. So many of us are members of the Disabled Americans Association, Disabled Veterans Association, and the Legion and things like that. So when we go to those places, we're not trying to recruit their members. We're trying to say, hey, we have the specialist in vision. And you know, because we might run into a guy that's, yeah, I'm really having problems with my eyes. Well, get diagnosed. Yeah, I got macular degeneration. Did you go to the VA? No, it's not service connected. We know it doesn't have to be service connected. So we can get that bit of information out to the community and say, hey, you know, it doesn't have to be service connected. This is what we do.
Are you ready to make a difference in the lives of blinded veterans? Visit bva.org, click on Programs, then select Ambassadors to learn more and register. Join the Blinded Veterans Association and help empower others today.
Can you share how ambassadors make a personal difference for the veterans they serve?
I met a guy at a gas pump with a 1st Infantry Division baseball hat on. I was pumping gas. He was pumping gas. We struck up a conversation, being a couple of veterans. And I started telling him about the BVA and the benefits that are out there. And he said, well, I don't have any eye problems, but I got a couple of veteran friends that do. My wife was the doctor, and I was standing outside, and a construction worker saw my BVA ambassador shirt on. And he asked what it was about. And he's a Marine that has vision problems now, an ex-Marine. I guess there's no such thing as an ex-Marine, is there? But he has vision problems, and he knew nothing about us. He knew nothing about the benefits that were available for visual impairment. So, you know, being visible in the community is a great asset to getting this knowledge out there.
From your perspective, why is it so important for veterans to hear directly from fellow veterans who have gone through the Ambassador Program, as we'll hear in just a moment?
To me, the most important thing, when I first found out, I was on active duty and got medically retired. But I found out when I went to blind rehab and met other blind veterans that I was not alone. Being a veteran is, you have this attitude, you know, like, I got a mission, I can do it. I got a mission, I can do it. And more often than not, we focus on, we have to do this. And we forget that we are not alone. And the other thing that was really prominent for me was, you know, I was going through some depression and self-doubt and all this other stuff, you know. Will I be able to see my kids grow up? Well, you know, I'll never be able to drive again, that type of thing. And finding out from other veterans that, you know, yeah, I went through that, but you know what? Your wife's going through it too. And I never stopped to think that she was having a problem because I couldn't see. You know, she was having a problem because I was being a problem. But the ambassadors also have information about our auxiliary and what benefits are available for spouses and children, you know, about education. You know, a lot of people don't know there's the chapter 35 out there is for education of your children if you're 100% service connected for blindness. And so getting this work, you know, how am I going to pay for my kids' college? Well, there's a place that will help you. I don't understand what my husband's going through. I can't tell you what your husband's going through because I'm going through the same thing. But my spouse can tell you how she handled it. So it casts a broad net out there that allows us to get the information to other veterans, their family members, their caregivers, their children, that, hey, you're not alone. And this is out there for you. And you can have a productive, valuable life. You know, blindness isn't a death sentence. And many people, when they start lose their sight and their independence, that's the first thing they think of is, okay, my life's over. I got nothing left. So, and a purpose, it gives many of us a purpose in life that we may not have had before. Many of my ambassadors have told me becoming an ambassador has given me a purpose. I have this information and I know I need to share it. And it's given me something to look forward to every day. So the ambassador program not only enriches the lives of the ambassadors that take the course, it enriches the lives of the whole veteran community. Whether you're visually impaired or not, we're brothers and sisters. And when we face these things, it helps us to know that, I actually have a team. I have comrades that have my back, just like when I was in the military.
Most definitely, Vern. I truly appreciate your words. It's invaluable information. Let's hear what other ambassadors have to say. Here's BVA member Brian Douglas.
Well, I think the Ambassador Program is an outstanding program from this perspective. What it does is it educates us veterans that have impairments to educate others. And I think that that's part of the process. I think is that it's about growing and learning more about all of the various things that go into veterans programs, veterans issues. And you have to have a certain tenacity in order to even go down that path. Because it's not for everybody. Not everybody is going to be worthy of becoming an ambassador. Not everybody wants to do that. And then some of the other components that come with that is volunteering and learning more about all the programs that the VA offers.
Here's BVA member Calvin Poole.
When I lost my sight, I had nowhere to go. I went into a deep state of depression for a while, blew up to about 280 pounds, and didn't have anybody to talk to. But then I ended up going to blind rehab for the first time, and I found out about the Blind Veteran Association. And it's been an absolute whirlwind since then. And I have been a regional group president before. And when its opportunity came to be an ambassador, I jumped on it because I know there's a need in the community to tell our words kind of, sort of. And it allows me to do that. So when I can go over to the medical center there in Memphis, I have my ambassador shirt on and my badge on, and I can talk to other veterans that don't know about the opportunities out here for them as a blinded veteran. And it's just been my mission to just spread the word and get people involved and get them out the house. Because one of the things that I found out is when you lose your sight, you end up having this sedentary lifestyle, and you can easily get out of shape, unhealthy. So I try to get them out, let them know there is life after darkness.
Here's BVA member Eddie Miranda.
After much convincing, I finally decided to go to the Blind Rehab Center. I was very depressed, very lonely, and I decided to go. And lo and behold, my fellow vets were there. I was introduced to the Blind Veterans Association, and the sense of community that I had lost leaving the military was there. And it was almost like I was reborn, and my fellow vets who were struggling with the same afflictions that I was going through, loneliness, depression, blindness, and we were able to bond once again like we did in our youth with each other. And that was all the difference in the world.
Here's BVA member Ben Keeley.
People introduced me to the BVA, and so I, really enjoyed their mission statement and got involved, and actually became part of the Florida regional group. And then they launched the ambassador program, and I said this was a way to move, forward and be a champion for what that they're doing. And, the BVA has great programs, such as the helping with the claims and stuff. So I got involved and became an ambassador, and it's been a great mission. I was part of the PACT Act, and it was a big part of getting that passed was the BVA, and they're, pushing for it. So they really fight for your veterans, and it's your opportunity to be a voice and get things done so you're taken care of.
And finally, here is BVA member Yannicka Trent.
I signed up, became an ambassador, and I'm just still doing what I do naturally. So I'm helping veterans, I'm helping blinded veterans, I'm making the connection between that blinded veteran and the VA and the help that they need. So I enjoy what I do.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Visions of BVA. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and found it insightful. If you like what you heard, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving a rating or review on your favorite platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and improve our show. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes content. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Stay connected, stay informed, and we'll see you next time on Visions of BVA. This is Steve Baskis, signing off.
You're listening to a BVA production